What's up, everyone? Welcome to a special edition pregame of the Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions. I'm joined by my boy, the voice himself, Mr. Dave Robin.
Hey, what's going on as well? But, for me, I'm a little more of an NFL guy, and I'm like, man, it's awesome, dude. I mean, it's not the Saints playing tonight, but, dude, I mean, the defending champion, Kansas City Chiefs, we all know about all the star power they have with Mahomes and company. And, I mean, Detroit's a team on a rise, dude. I mean, Detroit's coming up.
I tell you what, man, they got some storylines tonight, too, with a bunch of people being inactive, not there.
Yeah, I mean, even a suspension, right? I mean, on the defensive side for Detroit, I think, with Dan Campbell, issuing a suspension to a starting defensive tackle.
Yeah, listen, guys, who's ever joining us right now, we're going to talk about this. We're going to do a little pregame about the Kansas City and the Lions. We're going to talk about the money line. We're going to talk about parlays. We're even going to dive into a little bit about, Sports Illustrated is reporting Joe Burrow's getting a new deal with Cincinnati. So we're also going to talk about that.
Hey, I know you're happy, Rich.
I tell you what, man, I'm happy for the guy. I really am.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And I mean, if people knew me, that's what I was voicing my opinion. The guy deserved a new contract. I mean, You just see other guys get new deals, and I'm like, man, this is.
I think it's good for the fans too, man, out there. I mean, that fan base has been through some hard times over the years. I mean, it's good to know that they locked down, a guy who's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Who's entering his prime.
I mean, who's done more? I mean, of course, Stafford won the Super Bowl, but in the last 3 years, who's done more than Burrow and Patrick Mahomes? I mean, really?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's right in that conversation, man. No doubt about it.
What's up, Chuck? What's up, baby? Oh, so listen, y'all, we're gonna dive in. Also, but look, while I seen Chuck just now, make sure y'all go on Nola's page. They're doing casting for a cause this upcoming. I mean, next Saturday. Make sure to share the link. It's for a good cause. So, Dave, let's dive into it. What you looking forward to tonight's game?
Man, I think a lot of us, man, besides just NFL football in itself, man, I mean, I think Detroit, a lot of people are expecting this little leap from Detroit after the year they had last year. And, Jahmyr Gibbs, the rookie's going to be in the field. I mean, there's a certain feeling, guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown, I mean, they're coming up.
Donald?
That team, look, Jared Goff's coming off one of his best seasons. I mean, Detroit's going to be fun to watch. But, man, I'll tell you one thing, Richie, it's still arguably the best environment. And I know we're Saints fans, man, but Arrowhead Stadium, man, is like, as good as it gets as far as an environment to start the season, man. I mean, Patrick Mahomes. Oh, man. I mean, dude, I know Kelsey's out, Chris Jones situation, but, dude.
I'm looking forward to that, man.
It's going to be fun, man. It's going to be fun.
We're gonna get a little preview of life after Travis Kelce with Patrick Mahomes tonight.
Yes, man. Hey, dude, I mean, the one guy I keep looking at me, like, to me, it's like the guy who's like the X factor that everybody knows is the X factor to me is Kadarius Toney, man. I mean, it's like, stay healthy for one.
Yeah, I was looking at today. I'm glad you brought that up because a lot of people, believe it or not, are also talking about Sky Moore.
Yeah, high pick last year, man. So, I mean, Moore, it's a lot of pressure on Sky Moore, I believe. I mean, it is in this league, man. I mean, I'm not saying you can't have a late bloomer receiver, man, but those first 2 years, you don't want to start off. He had a dud year as a rookie last year. And, I mean, look, dude, same pressures on Kadarius Toney. I mean, this is, year 3 for him? So, I mean, dude, you got two guys that are young, that have a lot of talent that, that have to show up. They got the best quarterback in the league. I mean, Kelsey's out tonight. They got a chance to shine on a national stage, in front of everybody.
And it seems like, to me, Andy Reid don't have a problem with trusting his young players. He really don't.
Right.
And
Toney came in mid-season, last year in that trade with the Giants. I mean, he had hardly any warm-up time, to get acquainted to that playbook. I mean, he came in right away.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. And you think about it, they had the second most rookie starters last year on a Super Bowl winning team.
Wild. It's wild, dude. That secondary was really good. They had some guys on that back end of the defense that was really good last year. Young guys that stepped up. And, I mean, dude, Isaiah Pacheco, the running back, he's a guy I kind of failed to mention already. He's one of my favorites. Actually, he's, to me, one of the funnest guys to watch in the NFL. I mean, the dude plays with total heart, 7th-round pick. I mean, if this guy was a Saint, dude, he would be loved in this community, dude. I mean, he's got, he's a likable dude. He plays the game right, plays it hard. He cut, 7th round, dude. Now he's, the starting running back for the Chiefs.
I think they're going to rely on Hilaire a lot tonight. I really do. I think they're going to lean on him a lot.
Man, I tell you, Hilaire's in a tough situation, man. I think Hilaire, this is like a make or break season for Hilaire. I mean, Hilaire could be, look, dude, I mean, he's an LSU guy, but he could be out the league with a rough year this year. He hasn't lived up to expectations, man. And I mean, you got Pacheco, who's, this guy, I think he averaged like in the high fours, almost 5 yards a carry, or maybe over 5 yards a carry. I mean, he ran for 800 plus yards, and he didn't really play the first half of the season too much last year. And I mean, dude, in the postseason, he was money. He had a good Super Bowl. Jerick McKinnon's there too, dude. Catches a lot of passes. He's always a playmaker out of the backfield on third down. But Clyde Edwards-Helaire, look, it's interesting to see you brought that up because, I mean, this is a make or break year. And he was a high draft pick, man. I mean, we all went nuts on this guy in fantasy at that point.
I mean, they use McKinnon a lot out of the backfield. They use Pacheco a lot. It's like it's really a three-man backfield if Helaire can stand up and and step up to the plate, because he's been a disappointment. I mean, really.
Dude, and I think everything they thought they were going to give with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they've got that with Pacheco. I mean, Pacheco is this guy. He can catch the ball a little bit out the backfield.
Yep.
He's a hard runner. He can break tackles at the line. I mean, when they need like a 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 3, you can feel comfortable he'll get you those yards. I mean, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, that wasn't happening, dude. They couldn't use him in the goal line situations. He wasn't breaking that first contact. As Pacheco, on the other hand, that dude just runs through people, man. He runs like one guy said, one of the scouts or something said, he runs like he's angry with the ground. That's how hard they think this dude runs.
That's a good analogy. That's a good analogy about him. That's a really good analogy about him. So look, I think they're really going to be hurting on the defensive line with Chris Jones being out. I mean, Chris Jones is an easy top 3 defensive lineman in the league, easily.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
That it disappoints me. I think, and as much as I like Andy Reid, because we all do. Some of the stuff he's just been saying in interviews about this, I think he could have handled it a little better. He's like, we're gonna move on. It's like, what? I'm like, dude.
Yeah, and it's hard because the coach. It's weird because the head coach. Obviously he's got to say so behind the scenes. I mean, but the general manager, it's his job. He's got to get that done. You've got to sign up a guy who's won a couple Super Bowls with you. He's been one of the best defensive tackles in the league. I mean, he's right up there. When there's Aaron Donald, he's like the next group of guys, like him, DeForest Buckner, those type of guys. And he's elite. He's one of the best at what he does.
So let's talk about the other side. Let's talk about the other team. What about Detroit? What you looking forward with them?
I really want to see Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, I know in fantasy everybody's going postal with him, and I mean, this guy's got a lot of talent. Coming out, high draft pick. He's going to be really intriguing. They actually got Montgomery listed as the RB1 on the latest depth chart, which, I mean, it's a formality. Let's be real. I mean, Montgomery's more of a serviceable back, from Chicago. I think Gibbs is going to be really fun to watch. I want to see if Jared Goff picks up where he left off as well. Like you said, they don't have Chris Jones tonight. It's a little bit easier of a situation against the pass rush without Chris Jones. I
think Montgomery's going to play kind of the Jamal Williams role.
He might, dude. And that's the weird thing, Richie, about that team. Yeah, I mean they moved on, from Jamal Williams, and I mean, like you said, now it's going to be interesting. I mean, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, they went with they got this new backfield now. So I mean, obviously Dan Campbell, he thought something might have been missing, maybe, or maybe just a situation presented itself to get Gibbs.
I think a lot of people underestimated Jared Goff too at quarterback, because I mean he had a really good season last year.
Yeah, I think he's one of the more underrated quarterbacks in the league. I mean, I've seen guys just really knock this dude. I mean, this is a guy that played in the Super Bowl, I mean, it was the bullshit no call game. Sorry. But, but this guy did, hey, look, he got there. I'm not mad at Jared Goff for that call. I mean, he played well in the playoffs that year, and I mean, he got his team to the Super Bowl. And I mean, this dude, like I said, coming off a great season, man. I mean, he was money. Like I want to say he was like a top 10 fantasy quarterback last year.
Yeah, he was. And and another thing too is I'm looking forward to the rookie tight end, man.
Yeah, Sam Laporta, man.
Yeah, Sam Laporta is looking, man.
I mean, because we won't see Jameson Williams for a while once again. He'll start the year inactive.
That poor guy can't. He's just
man. I tell you, that dude. It's like goodness, man.
A lot of talent there that just can't get on the field. It's crazy.
It's like
man.
If Calvin Ridley and Kadarius Toney had a baby together, they'd have Jameson Williams. Man, either dude's in trouble for something, gambling, or he's hurt.
That's a real good analogy of that, man. I tell you, because it's like I tell you what, Detroit. I think they upgrade a little bit on defense too, so they look a lot better.
That's a good point. And one guy, I mean, it's funny you say that, man. A couple of names stand out to me on their defense. These Chauncey Gardner-Johnson dude goes there. I mean, we know how valuable Chauncey is and what he did for Philadelphia is, I mean, he's done it now with the Saints, with the Eagles.
What do you think was the reason that Philadelphia said, I mean, they gave up 4 picks for him and they just let him walk?
I don't understand. It's got to be something related to the locker room, and maybe Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn feel like they're the two guys, if anybody, which is probably a true statement. If anybody could contain this guy, whatever's going on in the locker room, because we saw it with the Saints.
Yeah.
Maybe that's – I don't know if that was the Eagles thing or not. But, dude, I mean, it's not him as a player. I mean, the guy's an outstanding player. I mean, he does a lot of things. I mean, he can rush the passer.
Yeah, I mean, and we clearly feel – yeah, because, I mean, clearly Philadelphia needed him. I mean,
I think it's a huge loss for them, dude. I think it's one of their worst losses on deep. I'm telling you, dude, I think the secondary takes a massive hit by losing that guy.
I mean, that secondary takes a hit. It's a good thing they drafted 2 rookies on that defensive line in Philadelphia because, it's like – but we're not diving in them. But anyway, yeah, I mean, so on paper, I mean, they got it as a 3.5-point favorite
with Kansas City.
For Kansas City.
So
but the thing about it is
the line went down again. Yeah.
Well, the line moved because of Kelsey being ruled out finally. So it moved now.
So that's, it's crazy. And it sucks because guys like me, I placed my bet early in the week. I just wanted to get it out the way. I figured, what's going to change week 1? You know what I'm saying? And then Kelsey comes up hurt. So it's like, man, I don't know. I tell you, look, my original thing, I took Kansas City minus the points. I think it was at like 6 when I bet on it. I just think,
Dave,
I think it's a hard environment.
Look, I'm wearing a Mahomes jersey, but I tell you what, I got a weird feeling about this game, man.
Oh, look, I got a lot of respect for Detroit, dude. I mean, what's funny? Another guy on their defense, real quick to mention, is a guy who I really feel good about. I'm glad this guy found some success, and it's a guy that's forgotten about by some Saints fans, but he was a part of that tremendous 2017 draft class, which to me is like the best this century.
Yeah.
And Alex Anzalone, dude. I mean, Anzalone played. Remember how his health issues were always a factor. And this dude played every game last year, had 120-plus tackles. He really had a coming-out party, dude. So I'm really happy for that guy because we always said that dude had instincts. The dude could hit somebody into next week. He just never could stay healthy.
It's crazy you bring that up because another linebacker that we let go, and right now we got a weakness at linebacker. Just like they let your boy go to Atlanta. Another guy that's going to prove himself in Atlanta.
Dude, that's what – and it sucks, man, because, you're right about that 100%, man. We've lost some pretty good defensive players the last few years. I mean, And those guys, like you said, they might not be the first names that come to mind, because everybody's going –
But think about the impact they're going to have on the teams that they are now. We talked about Chauncey Garner. You talk – it's like –
Right. I mean, we always think about, like, Trey Henderson, right? I mean, like, Trey Henderson, David Onyemata, but like you said, Chauncey's impact, Anzalone, Caden Ellis, dude. I mean, dude, that's a damn good defense right there. I mean, those players alone, that's a start of a possibly top 10 defense,
Yeah. I mean, I tell you, some of these moves they make, I just don't get it, so it's like –
And, it does tell me one thing, Richie. It does tell me, like, with Jeff Ireland, we have been drafting talent, man. We've been getting the talent there. I mean, if other teams are picking our guys up and they're going and having big roles, that's the one positive is that our scouting department has improved over the last 5 or 6 years,
Yeah. So, I mean, we've let some good talent go, but it's also brought a lot of talent in, so it's kind of –
Right. Can't win them all. It's like, we always talk about the Davenport thing, but it's like overall, we still find those mid-round and late-round gems, man.
Yeah. Well, it's like my dog, excuse him, y'all. He's going crazy. His mom's leaving. He goes absolutely
that's it. He's not thrilled right now.
So, man. So, listen, the over-under is 53.5.
I like that, dude. I'm all over that. I gotta check that bet. I don't know if I placed the over under, but I'm liking the over, man. I don't know about you. I think
Me too.
Even without Kelsey, dude. I mean, I think he's going to get either Tony or Valdez Scantling.
Because like you said, it's like you said on Tuesday's show. It takes a while for the defense to get adjustment. Adjust to the game.
I agree.
I think it's so.
Look, dude. Patrick Mahomes. The one thing that's great about him and Andy Reid is like you said, it could be a hangover game. I know Poncho and Chris were talking earlier about. On our page, talking about in a chat about trap game, which is don't get me wrong, that's definitely out there as a possibility. But I think when you deal with Mahomes and Reid, man, it's just I don't think those guys will fall into that. You know what I'm saying? Reid's such a great head coach, man. I mean, he's a future Hall of Famer, and Mahomes
discipline.
It's a mental thing. I mean, Mahomes is a phenomenal talent, but dude, he's headstrong, dude. He's like his IQ is through another building. You know what I'm saying? Like it's through the roof.
Something? Do you think he's going to come out struggling with Kelsey being sidelined?
I don't think. Honestly, dude, I don't think so at all. I really think he just goes. I think he has a typical Patrick Mahomes.
But Dave, people aren't talking about
matchup with those two.
People aren't talking about the left tackle being new. Nobody's talking about it.
That's another scenario too. I mean, they look. and that's a big deal. I mean, we know it firsthand when we lost Teron Armstead. I mean, you lose a guy that's been there for a while. I mean, it's look, Detroit, man, I'd say they could definitely put a little pressure on Mahomes. I want to, like you said about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, he's the guy to keep an eye on him. You know, Kansas City runs a lot of crossing routes. They do a lot of different things based off the tight end and, you know, off those routes. And, I mean, Chauncey's a guy, man, underneath. I mean, you know, he's a dangerous cover guy who can make some plays underneath. So, I mean, and you know, they could rush him off the line. You know, like you say, you got a new left tackle. They might not be able to read what Chauncey's doing out of the slot. So, I mean, look, dude, he's a guy that could definitely affect the game tonight.
I'm looking forward to the rookie Rice, too. I'm looking forward to seeing a couple of plays. I think, I mean, we all talked about it. Patrick Mahomes handpicked him, brought him in. I'm really looking forward to that, too.
Yeah, he's going to push Sky Moore right away. I mean, Sky Moore, you know, has got to step up his game. Kadarius Toney has to stay healthy because if not, this kid's waiting right there behind him on the depth chart, you know?
Yeah, I mean, but Sky Moore, I mean, how tall is he? Because he don't look that.
I mean, you know what? I just, the thing that upset me about him last year was I just didn't see anything like that really stood out with this kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, everybody in fantasy, it's like, okay, just like the Clyde Edwards-Helaire thing, offensive player going to Kansas City, possible starting jobs. So we're all going to draft him in dynasty leagues and fantasy rookie leagues.
Everybody
jumps on that. It's been pan out yet. I'm not saying the kid's going to be – look, he's got a whole another year to prove himself. I mean, but it didn't get off to a good start last year, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's so you're going to find – I think this first week we're really going to find out a lot about a lot of teams and which way they're going on offense. You know, so you're going to see a lot. It's going to be
right.
And I think a team like and also too, you know, they're getting a ring presentation tonight too with the ring.
Yeah, that's always a pretty cool scene. I mean, and look, dude, that crowd is as hyped as any. You know, so I mean that factors in for me too because you know that crowd's amped up.
They are loud. Goodness,
it's not an easy environment to play in. I mean, I do look. I think it's going to be a good game. I don't think there's no blowout happening. I don't think that happens. I think Detroit's got enough firepower to stay in the game. I think.
So you taking Detroit straight up?
No, I'm going to take. I think Kansas City wins the game, but I think it's close. I think Kansas City gets into the 30s. I think it's like one of those like kind of 35-28 type games maybe. I'm somewhere in there, you know, 35-28, 34-24.
I honestly think, and I may be wrong in this, I really think Andy Reid wants to see his offense without Travis Kelce, see how it works.
I think, look, Richie, I think this is going to be fun play calling. I mean, because you got the best quarterback in the league. You got arguably the best play caller out there. So, I mean, dude, it's going to be fun to see what they do. And, I mean, like you said, this is going to be a big test. We got
to remember, too, Bieniemy, this is Patrick Mahomes' first game without him.
He is going, dude. He is going to Washington, which is going to be – that's another reason I want to see Sam Howell and those guys in Washington, man. That's going to be fun to see what he does for that offense. And, dude, I mean, it's going to be – look, like you said, that's a good point, man. That's something that I haven't heard enough about today, but it's a great point because Bieniemy was,
nobody's talking about it, man. Nobody – I mean, because look, it's like you said, your guy in Buffalo, Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm. I'm not a big Ken Dorsey guy at all, man. I'm like – I think that dude holds him back.
When he lost his coordinator when he went to New York, and Brian Daboll, when he lost Brian Daboll, it made a huge impact on Josh Allen.
I agree, dude. Because I think you got a good head coach there with McDermott. I think you got a really good team on paper. I mean, on paper, they're one of the top 5 rosters in the league, and you got an elite quarterback. So I mean, dude, they should be there again. But I think he's got to change up his game a little bit as offensive coordinator, or he's going to be, you could be on a hot seat before you know it, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I tell you what, tonight's going to be an interesting game. I mean, people don't realize this. I just found this out today because I did some research. Detroit was only second to Kansas City in total offense last year.
That's pretty wild, man. That's pretty surprising. That's a very surprising stat. I mean, look, we know our boy Jamal Williams had a breakout year. He ran for 1,000 yards. I mean, they had DeAndre Swift as kind of a nice number 2 back role. And I mean, St. Brown, dude, I know a lot of guys, it's funny. I think he's a guy that like half the fantasy players out there have maybe seen this guy play like one time or fewer, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But everybody has him on their fantasy leagues. He's such a big factor. You know, he's a fun player to watch, man. Because this guy wasn't, a super high draft choice. And I mean, he come out of nowhere and just became a stud, man. I mean, he is legit, dude. He's legit.
Yeah, I mean it's just like, I mean I don't even know. He came out of nowhere and just like the targets he's get it's insane.
See, dude, that's what I'm saying. That's why sometimes you hear people saying don't go too high in the draft for a wide receiver. Because, I mean, you can get these guys like him, man, like Michael Thomas of the world in the second round or beyond.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Come on.
How does people say, it's too high when you got a guy that's getting that much volume? That's just crazy to me.
Oh, no, dude. He's money, dude. He is legit, dude. I mean, good player.
I tell people this. Remember I told you I did that when we did the rankings. We did it without the names.
Oh, he said, as far as like
when we did the rankings, they took the names away. All you seen was the stats, the numbers, the volume, the targets,
okay.
all
That's cool. That's cool.
Amon St. Brown was second in receivers.
Dude, he's bad, dude. And this isn't just a 1-year deal. I mean, he did it before. I mean, dude. Look, the only thing I worry about, and this is one thing I worry about if I'm a Lions fan, I worry about how good is Jahmyr Gibbs, which I mean, the dude's got a lot of talent. That's an X factor. And Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, dude, if he's going to get the number one corner every week, which, I mean, he did last year. But, I mean, I think teams are going to start keying on him a little more because right now you got almost forced these other guys, like you said, maybe the rookie tight end or Marvin Jones or somebody else.
I don't know if you noticed now, which is going to help Gibbs and Montgomery. PDF Pro Football Weekly ranked Detroit Lions offensive line number 1 in the NFL.
They're really good. I was going to say that next because, man, you got Penei Sewell, who was a high draft pick. You got Taylor Decker. Their tackles are like elite. And now the center's been there for a while.
If you think about it, Dave, before we had Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram, and stuff like that, we had one thing we had with Drew Brees was a great offensive line in them days.
Yeah, winning a Super Bowl, we had 4 Pro Bowlers on the line. I mean, if you got a good line, man, you can do a lot on offense. I think that's where everybody had all those expectations for Dallas.
What's up, Slugger?
I mean, Dallas kept drafting those high picks, and they kept hitting on those offensive linemen. And I think that's why, you always saw the analysts, pretty high on Dallas for that reason.
Yeah, hey, before I forget, I want to tell Slugger, look, man, y'all be safe on the road. Charles heading up to Houston to play a game up there in Houston, Texas. Good luck to y'all, man. Y'all be safe. Go Eagles, that's for sure. So, look.
Wait, Charles playing in Houston? Nice, man. Nice. I said, what's that? The team they're playing or what?
He said, "Where's Mr. Dino?" He said, "Where's Mr.?" He commented, "Where's Mr. Dynamite?" He's talking about Pancho. He's talking about Pancho.
Oh, Pancho. I got you. Hopefully he's doing all right, man. From what he put on
actually, Slugger, he's not doing too well, man. So we wish him well to get healthy, man.
Yeah, hopefully he's good
on a serious note, let's wish him well.
Yeah, hopefully he'll be good. Look, be ready for Sunday. That's all I can say. Let the dancing bear be ready for that.
We definitely. So, man, look, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to it. Football's back. We're ready to go. We're gonna everybody listen. Make sure y'all join us too. Before we forget, we're gonna come on Sunday morning at 9:00. We're gonna do a little pregame. We're talking about the games. We're gonna talk about fantasy football. We're gonna dive into all that. We're gonna do our picks. So it'll be a good time. I'm ready for that too, Dave. I'm ready for this season to start, man, and get rolling.
I'll tell you, man, Saturday's going to be pretty cool too, Richie. Look, we got tonight. I mean, I'm still about baseball, so I got it all week. But shit, football-wise, dude, we got Thursday, dude, we got this game tonight.
We got football we got football every week until January now.
Well, dude, that's what. Look, it's Saturday morning, dude. We're gonna wake up. I know, we talked at length about that, but we got that Colorado-Nebraska game early. We got Tulane playing Ole Miss in a really good matchup. 2 top 25 teams,
and it's sold out too. It's sold out,
dude. I'm loving it, dude. I love the atmosphere down there, man. I'm saying we need to do. I was talking to Chris about that on the podcast, dude. We need to do a tailgate at some point. Hopefully, Tulane wins and they get this momentum like they had last year.
Yeah, we'll do a tailgate.
And we can do a show uptown, man. Look, dude, it's really cool. Nice stadium. I mean, look, it's not the massive Tiger Stadium.
That is a nice stadium, man.
It's really nice. I was about to say, if anybody hasn't been there, go because it's an awesome place.
I tell you what, awesome, and every seat in there is good too.
It is, dude. It's much better than going to the Dome back in the day for the Tulane games. Look, the Dome's great for the Saints, but this is Tulane's home now, and it's awesome.
Yeah, so it's going to be look. I tell you what, man, everybody's excited. That's for sure. We're getting it all started. We're gonna, it's going to be a fun time. Football's back, everybody. You know that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So listen, Dave. I know you want to get prepped up for the game. I do. I want to do the same. Thanks everybody for. We want to do this little short show. Bring it on. We're going to try to do as much as we can on Thursdays. Pancho, get well. We'll have Mr. H-Town on it next time, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
Of course. Listen, Fatty, thank you for always doing this last-minute stuff for us. Listen, make sure y'all join his site, too, the Bayou Geeks. That's a good
Not a
thing, man.
problem.
You
I
know.
enjoy it.
All right, y'all. Who that? Good luck. Good luck to Patrick Mahomes in Detroit tonight. Let's do this.
All right. Got it,
Later.
guys.
All right.
Who dat?
Hey, thanks, Fatty.
Thanks, man.